on third law of thermodynamics, we started discussing imperfections, two types of imperfections, line and point. Am I right? We continued with the point defects, stoichiometric and non-stoichiometric. Okay. There are, depending on the type of the solids, whether ionic solids or molecular solids, we classify stoichiometric defects as vacancy and interstitial in case of molecular solids, Frankel defect and Schottky defect in case of ionic solids. Is it right? So after that we discussed about impurity defects. Impurity defect. Usually we see impurity defect in alkali metal halides. Okay. Then we took non-stoichiometric defects. Okay. In non-stoichiometric defects, there are two types, metal excess and metal deficiency. In metal excess, there are two types are there. One, in which the anion vacancy occupied by the free electron called as color center, F center, and one more, excess metal ion occupy the interstitial site. Interstitial site or interstitial space. This is one kind of two types of metal excess defects. Metal deficiency defect is seen in the metallic compounds whose metals exhibit more than one kind of valency, variable valency. Transition metals exhibits variable valency. Whenever they are made to combine with some other element, they may show two or more types of valencies. Like iron shows +2 and +3. So in the given compound, you will be having less number of metal atoms compared to non-metal atoms, because less valency atoms, less valencies are replaced by more valency. 3 of the +2 ions are replaced by 2 of the +3 ions in such a way that one atom becomes less compared to non-metal. In this way, metal deficiency defect is noticed or seen in case of iron oxide, in case of nickel oxide, in case of titanium compounds. In such type of transition metal compounds, we see metal deficiency defect. So after this we solved problems related to metal deficiency defect, and I told you to solve one more question from the exercise. Question number 91. Okay. ಯಾವುದು ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲಿ? ಎಮ್ 0.98 ಓ ಬರ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ನೀನು. ಎಮ್ 0.98 ಓ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ +3 ಕೇಳಿರಬೇಕು. ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮ್ +3 ಅಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ 4%. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? 4% is the answer, right? So you are able to solve that problem. How many of you have not solved? 1. You do it now. What we consider in that? Number of negative charges is equal to number of positive charges. So M 0.98 1, it is understood, 1.00. Okay. So number of negative charges in the molecule should be equal to number of positive charges. Okay. Number of negative charges is equal to number of oxygens. How many oxygens are there in the molecule? 1. What is the charge on oxygen? 2 negative charges. 2 negative charges is equal to, see, metals exhibits +2 and +3, it is given. Okay, +2 and +3. Total number of +2 and +3 ions is equal to 0.98. Okay, let us consider x number of m +2 are present and 0.98 minus x number of m +3 ions are present. So let me write it as, how many +2 are there? X So x into plus 2, that is 2x plus of, how many plus 3 ions are there? 0.98 minus x. Let me write it like this, 0.98 minus x into what charge on the metal? 3. So it is 2 is equal to 2x plus into 3 madi, 8 3s are 27, 2 carry, okay, 24, 2 carry, 27 plus 2, 22.94 minus 3x, okay. So it is 2, take this to the other side, r, okay, 2 is equal to minus 3x plus 2.94 or 3x, okay, x is equal to 2.94 minus 2, so x is equal to 0.94, okay. So these many number of what ions are present? M plus 2 ions are present, okay. We want what fraction? Plus 3 fraction is required. So number of plus 3 ions estagutte? This is equal to 0.98 minus 0.94 is equal to 0.04. So fraction of M plus 3 ions should be equal to number of plus 3 ions 0.04 divided by total number of ions, that is equal to 0.98. Yes, solve ಮಾಡಿ. It is 4 by 98, approximately 4 by 100. Is it not? 4 by 100, 0.04 multiplied with 100, you will get 4%. Okay, approximation will help us in the competitive exams. Approximation is required. Okay, exact answer bekagalla. Yaudo 1% of the question needs exact calculation. Okay, if the options are A option 3.9, B option 4.01, C option 4.05, D option 4.0, ಏನದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ 08 08, ದೆನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವಾಗ? ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ಹೌದಾ? ಇಂಥ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದು ವೆರಿ 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 ರೇರ್, ನಾಟ್ ಈವನ್ 1%. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ 2010 I think 2010 or yes 2010 paper, around 18 to 20 questions numericals, all were of this type answers, not able to make approximation. ಆ ಇಯರು 9 ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸಿ ಇ ಟಿ ಪೇಪರ್ಗೆ. ಯಾವುದೂ ತಪ್ಪಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೀನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಆವಾಗ 9 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಗ್ರೇಸು. ಇವಾಗ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಭಾಳ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಡ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. Today we shall see classification of the solids based on the electrical conductivity or electrical conductivity of the solids. Okay, all solids are showing electrical conductivity. ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವು, ಸೆಮಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೈಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. They show conductivity, some value of conductivity. What is the unit of conductivity? What do you mean by conductivity? Meaning of conductivity. Define conductivity, not conductance. That is specific conductance. Specific conductance is nothing but conductivity. Define it. What do you mean by conductivity? The topic is conductance of solids. Which conductance? Electrical conductance. Electrical conductance of solids. Okay. All solids conductance meaning ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ conductance is ability of a material to allow the flow of electrons. Ability of a substance to allow the passage of electrons, electricity is called as conductance. Conductance. Conductivity, conductance, symbol for conductance is G. G is the conductance. Conductivity, conductivity, symbol for conductivity is kappa. Kappa, small k, a, ppa, name, ಹೆಸರು ಕಪ್ಪ. ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಬೀಟಾ ಗಾಮಾ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಡಿ ಝಡ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇವೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಬೀಟಾ ಗಾಮಾ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಈಟಾ ತೀಟಾ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಕೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕಪ್ಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಪ್ಪ. See the symbol. Okay, some of you write K as kappa only. You have the habit of writing K as kappa, but you don't know that it is Greek alphabet K. It is not. You should write it in this way. Irli paravagilla adjust ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. So what is the symbol for conductivity? Kappa. Okay. Conductivity is called as specific conductance. Specific conductance, okay, that is conductance of specified amount of a substance. Conductance G, conductance is G. Conductance of specified amount of a substance is called as specific conductance, called as conductivity. What is that specified quantity? It is 1 unit quantity, 1 unit volume. Okay, 1 unit volume, 1 meter length, 1 meter depth, 1 meter breadth. Okay, length into breadth into height, 1 meter cube. Okay, so 1 cubic meter of any material possess some conductance. We call that conductance as conductivity. Conductivity, conductance of 1 unit volume of a conductor. Okay, conductance of 1 unit volume of a conductor is called as conductivity. We are discussing about this in detail, mathematical expression, all those things in the lesson electrochemistry. Okay, adun detail ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ. But we have to use this word conductivity. Definition we came to know, the unit of conductivity is Simon per meter or Simon per centimeter. Simon is ohm inverse. Okay, ohm inverse, meter inverse you can write, centimeter inverse also we can write. Usually we use the length as in centimeter. So Simon per centimeter is the conductivity unit, or per ohm per meter is the conductivity unit. Okay, in the textbook it is given what is the unit of conductivity given. Nodi, what is the unit? Per ohm per meter. Per ohm per meter, ohm inverse, meter inverse is the unit of conductivity mentioned in the textbook. Okay, conductivity of all the substances ranges between 10 raised to minus 20 to 10 raised to 4. All solids you can measure, you can take any solid, you measure the conductivity of that solid, its value remains is between 10 raised to minus 20 to 10 raised to 4. We divide this range into 3 ranges. We divide this big range of conductivity into 3 ranges. One range is 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 7. The other range is 10 raised to minus 6 to 10 raised to 4. Okay, one more is 10 raised to minus 20 to 10 raised to minus 10. Okay, this range you see once in the textbook, this range of materials are called as insulators. Okay, first range of high conductivity called as conductors. Okay, intermediate range, is it correct? correct what I have written? Intermediate range of conductivity called as semiconductors. Okay, semiconductors. See, there are whole complete big range of conductivity of solids is now classified into three different ranges. The highest range, materials with highest range of conductivity called as conductors. Lowest value is called as insulators. Intermediate value considered as semiconductors. Okay, so in this topic we are dealing with what is the difference between these conductors, semiconductors and insulators, why these have got very low conductance, why these have got very high conductance, why semiconductors have got intermediate conductance or conductivity. We are learning that by using band theory. Band, okay, madveg baruttalla band, that band, B-A-N-D, band theory. Okay, let us see what is band theory. Are you clear with this? Read once what is there in the printed in the text. Electrical conductance. So we are classifying solids into three types. Please sit down. Conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So we shall see why these have high, some have low, some have intermediate conductance with the help of band theory. Okay, so let us understand what is band theory. Band theory. So before going to band theory, we must all know that substances, solids conduct electricity because of flow of electrons, not ions. Agreed? Because in solids ions may be present but they cannot move from one place to other. So ions are not responsible for the conductance, but what are responsible? Electrons. Electrons are responsible for the conductance. Okay, so electrons must be free enough to move. Am I right? Must be free enough to move. They should be loosely binded to the nucleus. That means the substances should have low ionization enthalpy so that valence electrons are loosely attached to the nucleus. They can detach from the nucleus force of attraction and they can flow throughout the solid. See, electrons are responsible for the conductance. Okay, so in any atom, if I consider any atom, it will be having central nucleus. It will be having inner shell, first shell, next shell, next shell. There will be outermost shell. Am I right? We call this outermost shell as valence shell. The electrons present in the valence shell are valence shell electrons. Electrons are flowing means they are flowing from, they are moving from the outermost shell to the next empty shell. Next empty shell. This next empty shell is called as conduction band. It is called as conduction band. So what is called as conduction band? The empty shell, that is if valence shell is nth shell, n plus 1th shell will be considered as conduction band. Okay, the nth shell containing valence electrons is called as valence band. Okay, we call it as valence band. Okay, so you should first understand what is valence bond, what is conduction band, how does conduction takes place. How does conduction takes place? It is through the movement of electrons, flow of electrons from the valence band into the conduction band. Okay, if they freely flow from valence band into the conduction band, they will have high conductance. If there only few electrons are flowing from valence into conduction band, they will have less conduction. Let us see, let us understand now how this band theory explains the differences between conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So let me first take up conductors. Okay, in case of conductors, there are two possibilities. In case of conductors, there are two possibilities. One possibility is valence band is half occupied, half filled valence band. Half filled valence band is there, in which transition of electrons takes place within the shell. There is a movement of electrons within the shell takes place, hence there is a flow of electrons, free flow of electrons, hence conductors have high conduction. Within the shell ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆ ಶೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ there is no extra energy is required for the electron to move from lower to higher. See, this shell, complete shell is almost having same energy, so electrons need not require any extra energy to flow from lower energy to higher energy. So free flow of electrons takes place, hence conductance is high. This is one thing. Other thing is valence band is completely filled. Valence band is completely filled. This is valence band. Conduction band is empty, of course, but it is overlapped with the what? Valence band. This is conduction band. Overlap agide. So as it is overlapped, there is a free, easy flow of electrons from the valence band into conduction band. Therefore, conductors have got what? Very high conductance, conductivity, of course. Coming to the insulators. In case of insulators, valence band is completely filled. Of course, it is having electrons. Conduction band is also there. This is conduction band. Okay, this is valence band. There is a large gap between the energies of the valence band and conduction band. See, this is energy axis. Energy increases in this direction. Okay, energy of the valence band is less, energy of the conduction band is high. There is a large gap between the conduction band energy and valence band energy. Okay, we call this a zone called as forbidden zone. Forbidden zone or Forb zone anta heltivi. Forb zone is the energy gap between the conduction band and the valence band. So it is difficult for the electrons to jump from valence band into conduction band. Those who are having energy may jump from conduction band into valence band into conduction band, 1 in million or so. Therefore, insulators do possess conductance but very less conductance. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಹೌದಾ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ವಿಂಗಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆ ವಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? ನೋ. ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪವರ್ ಜಂಪ್. ಸೊ ಅಂಥವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್, ಸೂಪರ್ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಸೂಪರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪವರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಯಾರೋ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದು ಕ್ರಿಶ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಜೆಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. Come back, don't fly, come back. Are you back please? Yes. See, this is like jumping from this side to that side. This is not possible. So 1 in million or 1 in trillion may jump. So insulators have got very, very less conductance because of large forbidden zone. Forbidden zone is large energy difference between the valence band and the conduction band. Coming to the semiconductors. Okay, in case of semiconductors, valence band is, of course, there is a gap between valence band and the conduction band, CB. This is VB. So this gap is less. Okay, gap is less. So one can jump from this end to that end. Okay, one ಮನೆ ಈ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆ, ಆ ಮನೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆ, ಈ ಕಟ್ಟೆಯಿಂದ ಆ ಕಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಎಗರ್ಬೋದು. ಭಾಳ ಹತ್ರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಭಾಳ ಹತ್ರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಬೆಂಚಿಂದ ಆ ಬೆಂಚಿಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಈ ಬೆಂಚಿಂದ ಈ ಬೆಂಚಿಗೂ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಸಿ, ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ to this. So that number again I am telling you, all electrons are not possible to jump from valence band into conduction band. Some few energetic electrons can jump from valence band into conduction band. Hence they have got less conductance than more conductance than insulators. Semiconductors ko ganiga. You're understanding? Band theory, 3 marks question. Questions are like this. Using band theory, how do you distinguish conductors and insulators? Using band theory, how do you distinguish conductors and insulators? Band theory use ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. According to band theory, conductors contains half-filled valence band or valence band and conduction band are overlap. Hence, there is a free flow of electrons. They have high conductivity. Insulators, there is a large forbidden zone between valence band and conduction band. Only very few electrons jump from valence band into conduction band. Hence, they have very, very low conductance. Conductance or conductivity. Okay. See, it can be paired with something else like conductors and insulators, semiconductors, insulators and semiconductors. Yaudara pair ಮಾಡಿ difference ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Okay. Now let us move forward with the semiconductors. So what are semiconductors? Whose conductivity is between those of insulators and conductors? Whose conductivity value ranges between 10 raised to minus 6 to 10 raised to 4. 10 raised to minus 6 to 10 raised to 4. ಏನು ಓಮ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮೀನಿಂಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ. ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. It has no value. No value means 0 marks. Okay, be careful while writing this range of conductivity. You should write the unit of conductivity per ohm per meter. Okay. We know conductivity is between lesser than conductors and greater than insulators. We classify semiconductors into 2 types. Okay, electronic students ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಿ. There are 2 types of semiconductors. ಹೌದೇನು ನೋಡಮ್ ತಾಳು. Semiconductors are of 2 types. Extrinsic semiconductors and intrinsic semiconductors. Silence. Okay. Extrinsic semiconductors and intrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are pure crystals of silicon and germanium. Okay, pure crystals of silicon and germanium in which there is a network of arrangement of covalently bonded silicon atoms. Every silicon atom is attached with 4 other silicon atoms making a network. We have learnt this class of solids, that is covalent solids. Okay, so this kind of network is seen. You know, silicon and germanium belongs to 14th group of the periodic table, where you find carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Okay, tin and lead, whose general valence configuration is ns2 np2. That means they have 4 valence electrons. Hence these are tetrahedral. Okay, these forms 4 covalent bonds. Okay, these are capable of forming 4 covalent bonds. Look at the silicon. It is around silicon. How many bonds are there? 4 bonds are there. So when all the electrons are used in the bond formation, where do you find the free electrons for conduction? Where are the free electrons? We know They are semiconductors. Semiconductors means there should be free electron, unpaired electron, unshared electron for the conduction, for the carrying of electric charge. Am I right? Where are the electrons? See, this is a pure crystal I said. We are using pure crystals at what temperature? Room temperature. According to third law of thermodynamics, only at 0 Kelvin temperature a crystal is perfect, otherwise it is not. So from 0 Kelvin temperature, if the temperature goes on increases, number of covalent bonds starts breaking. Covalent bonds start breaking. Due to the breaking of the covalent bonds, the valence electrons becomes free. Due to these free electrons, the substance is capable of conducting electricity. That means how this conductance of this material and temperature are related? Directly proportional. If you increase the temperature, more and more bonds are broken. Electrons becomes, more number of electrons becomes free. If more electrons becomes free, conductance increases. So we say in case of semiconductors, conductivity G is directly proportional to temperature. Okay, directly proportional to absolute temperature, Kelvin temperature. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ನಾನು? ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? SI ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ರೀಸನ್ ಇದೆ? ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, 0 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? ಅಂದರೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆದಾಗ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ನೋ, ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. So we have to specify temperature in what? Kelvin scale. Absolute temperature. So intrinsic semiconductors conducts electricity due to the presence of free electrons, which are made free due to the breaking of the bonds. Okay. So such type of conductors are called as intrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic semiconductors are doped semiconductors. Doped semiconductors. Doping means making impure. Making impure. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? Pure crystal is there. How to make it impure? Adding some other substance. Okay. ನೀರನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನಾರ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಏನಾರ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? So if you add something else, it becomes impure. It becomes a mixture. It is not pure now, impure. So doping means mixing other substance with a pure substance. Okay. So there are two types of extrinsic semiconductors are there. One is called as P-type semiconductor. Other one is called as N-type semiconductors. Okay. There are two types are there. P-type and N-type. Okay. P means positive type, N means negative type. P-type semiconductor is obtained when silicon or germanium is doped with trivalent impurity. With trivalent impurity. That is the element having only 3 valence electrons. I have taken 14th group element. Okay, it is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. I should take 15th group: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. I should take 13th group: boron, okay, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Okay. These 13 group elements have got NS2, NP1 configuration. How many valence electrons? 3. Okay. 15 group elements have got NS2, NP3 configuration. How many valence electrons? 5. Okay. When silicon is replaced by boron, boron has how many valence electrons? How many covalent bonds it can form? P-type semiconductors are obtained when either silicon or germanium is doped with, means mixed with, means some of the atoms of silicon and germanium are replaced by a trivalent impurity. Trivalent impurity could be boron, aluminium, gallium, depending on the size. All cannot fit in the place. We are studying solids now. We know we are studying solids. Silicon size ಇರೋಂಥದ್ದೇ ಆಟಮ್ನ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So boron or aluminium place ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Boron has how many valence electrons? 3. So it is forming how many bonds? 3 bonds. So this one electron is short. We call this as positive hole. We call this as positive hole. There is a deficiency of one electron. Electron ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ? ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. We call this as positive hole. Okay, we call it as positive hole. Because of positive hole, this substance is capable of conducting electricity because whenever we pass electricity, electrons are attracted towards the positive holes. So ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯಿತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಕಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Through the positive holes, it moves towards the positive plate of the what? Electricity. Correct? Negative plate ಮತ್ತೆ positive plates ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ ಎರಡು ವಯರ್ಸ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿನೇ ನಾವು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ terminal and move towards the positive terminal. Electrons are flowing towards the positive terminal through the positive holes. We call this kind of conductor as what? P-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor is obtained when silicon and germanium is replaced by pentavalent impurity. Nitrogen cannot be used. Why? It is a gas, not available in solid state. We can use what? Phosphorus. If at all phosphorus is replacing one of the silicon atom, then what happens? How many valence electrons it has? 5. How many valence electrons phosphorus has? 5 valence electrons. How many it can utilize? 4 it can utilize. 1 electron remains free. So this free electron is responsible for the flow of electricity. Hence it conducts electricity. So there are two types of extrinsic semiconductors, P-type and N-type semiconductors. Idishtu ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ. We have time now. We shall take up the questions. Okay? ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ? Semiconductors, types of semiconductors, complete ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು. Tomorrow I will discuss applications of semiconductors. Very interesting applications are there. We shall see the applications of semiconductors in the next class. Okay?